Hi, I'm Dmitry, and today I will present about the financial state of Mazda Motor Company and Hyundai Motor Company. A financial summary and comparison of Mazda Motor Company and Hyundai Motor Company will be presented. The data is gathered from the latest annual report of both companies. Note that any conversions that is shown in the presentation is converted using the conversion rate at the close of the financial year on each of the annual report. The first data that we will be looking at is assets. As seen in the chart, both companies have larger non-current assets than current assets. But what's notable is that Hyundai's non-current assets is significantly larger than its current assets. And in comparison, Hyundai's total assets is much larger than Mazda's total assets, with its total assets amounting more than 168 billion US dollars. Now we will be looking at liabilities. We can see that Hyundai has significantly higher liabilities as compared to Mazda, with its total liabilities amounting to more than 102 billion US dollars. And the notable difference between these two companies are that Hyundai has more non-current liabilities, whilst Mazda has more current liabilities. Now we are looking at equity. We can see that Hyundai has significantly larger shareholders' equity and also market capital. With the highest figures we can see in this table being Hyundai's shareholder equity amounting to more than 66 billion US dollars. The notable thing that we can see in this table is that Hyundai has significantly higher share prices than Mazda, considering that both of these companies are in the automotive market. We are now looking at revenue and expenses. As seen in the chart, we can see that both companies have very tight profit margins by looking at its revenue and expenses. The difference between these companies are its major revenue. While sales account for the highest revenue stream for both companies, but the other major revenue streams is different in both companies, with Hyundai having finance as its second largest revenue stream, and Mazda with its equity from its affiliated companies being the second largest revenue stream. Now we're in the financial ratios part, with liquidity being the first that we will be looking at. We will be looking at liquidity by calculating its current ratio to indicate its ability to pay off short-term liabilities with its current assets. We can see that Hyundai has higher current ratio than Mazda, but the difference between the two companies are not too big, with both of them hovering at under 150%. Next, we will be looking at leverage. And to do that, I'll be calculating the debt ratio of both of the companies to see how much the relative amount of the company's assets are provided through debt. And here we can see that Hyundai has a lower debt ratio than Mazda, which indicates that Mazda is having more of its assets provided through debt than Hyundai. Now we will be looking at profitability. And to do that, I will be calculating the return on assets ratio to indicate how efficiently these companies are using its assets to generate profit. And here we can see that Hyundai is having significantly larger return on assets ratio at 1.6% as compared to Mazda at 0.5%, which means that Hyundai is using its assets better than Mazda to generate profit for the company. Lastly, we'll be looking at market value. And to do that, I will be calculating the book value per share ratio to indicate the per share value of the company based on the equity available. And here we can see that Hyundai is having a significantly larger book value per share ratio than Mazda, with Hyundai having $119 per share and Mazda having $8.78 per share. But we can see that the total shares outstanding is significantly larger on Mazda, which is why it has a lower book value per share ratio than Hyundai. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you for your attention.